Welcome to the Trinitech Cast. This is episode number 63.
64?
You sure?
Yeah.
For real? Just now.
Yeah.
I'm totally not editing the caption while we speak. Nope. No, of course not. For real? Last week was 63?
Yeah.
Shucks. Yep. All right. Yeah, that
living in the past, so you have a little hangover.
Yeah, that's true. Why? I can't tell anybody about that. That was a total secret.
A top secret, for sure.
Yeah, let's just say we're not recording on a Sunday today. We're recording on a Tuesday night. Hopefully we'll publish on Wednesday. Yeah, we should meet the audio only at least by tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes it doesn't work out. But what we realize is that we made a commitment to stay consistent this year and record and drop our podcast every week. So yes. we are trying to keep to that, to the 20-something average Spotify listeners, not counting anybody else, because I guess it's other people, but I don't know. What's the site you use again? To check a long time.
Chartable, I think.
Chartable, yeah. Yeah. My problem is that I have an iPhone. That's used. Well, I buy an old iPhone because we needed to use it for testing, and basically to log into anything with Apple, you need an iPhone, right? So I buy an old iPhone 8 or something, so just so I could log in, and the iPhone 8 die on me. That's why. So I had to look for a new used iPhone on eBay. Probably like a 11 or a 12, and be able to log back into all them things, because for some reason Apple don't send the two-factor to anything else besides an iPhone.
Or if you had a Mac too, or an iPad.
Yeah. Well, okay. It doesn't send it to an Apple device that you're not signed into. You could ask for a text message or an email, and they're like, nope, we don't do that. You had to get the code that pop up on your Apple device. Which sucks, but but I really don't want to buy a new iPhone. Well, buy a used iPhone right now, because I'm watching some pennies. And remember, I tell you, I'm trying to buy things to upgrade the studio.
Yeah.
Real questions that we ask, but how your week was?
A lot of meetings, like whole day meetings. So
the kind of meetings I tell me about that I'll start and go till like 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
No, not so long.
Okay.
Like probably like 2 hour, 3 hour meetings, but multiple ones throughout the day. So yeah. And
you'll be like, okay, let's take a 15-minute break to go for lunch, and you leave the screen on and you go for lunch and come back.
Nah, they just go through your lunch.
Okay.
And they just go for lunch after. But yeah, so last week I didn't get much work done in terms of actual work. Just meetings. And I don't really like that. But
not much. I don't know a tech person that like the meetings, I really don't know one. Most of the times it's the executives that like the meetings, because they get to talk about...
They get to hear themselves talk.
Yeah. They get to hear themselves talk about the executive things now. And yeah, right. So to all the tech people out there, thank you very much for listening as usual. Who have to big up? Papa on Instagram. Yeah, he keeps sending me articles. I think he sent me one of the articles that we're going to discuss tonight.
Yeah.
His name is Papa something. I don't know if he's messaged you too. But yeah, Papa.
And I saw a DM. I ain't check it yet, but from, I think it's Stephen Greenwich.
Stephen Greenwich, yeah, he's messaged me too. Yeah, Samuel Greenwich. Samuel Greenwich. Yeah. Yeah, Samuel is a loyal too, man. He sent me plenty reels.
Yeah.
I don't get to check all the reels because my social media game is quite weak. I ain't gonna lie to all you, just in case you didn't know. A lot of us are just post and run away. Like you don't really go and like interact and scroll and thing. You might interact with the comments because people in the comments might be okay, but in terms of finding and sourcing.
Nah, plus these past few days, a lot of people attention was probably on the whole Kendrick Lamar beef. You know, so they had no time between these past few days.
That is what our student was talking about in the class today. I was like, he real talking about right now, because we playing a game in the class, right? And they're competing. And he's like, right now we beefing like Drake and Kendrick Lamar. And I don't know what he talking about, you know. But I honestly have no idea. But yeah, I guess that's the subculture that we live in.
Yeah.
All right, so today's show is going to be centered around our normal 3 topics, 2 local, 1 international. D Hub is doing big things. The D Hub challenge that we spoke about sometime November last year. It took place within the past few weeks, and there were winners and all kind of thing. Like, I didn't get to watch all the shows, but we'll talk about it as we go along. Next one is titled Blame the Computer, because the check clearing system apparently put Mr. Colm Imbert in a difficult position with respect to the country's finances, and they said it was a technical issue. And somewhere in the article I read things about compact discs, so I really want to go through that and see what really happened.
For those of you out there, compact disc is just the long form of CD. Yeah.
Right. It's nobody listening who don't know what compact disc is.
Nah, I mean, you know, yeah, the core audience, but then it have people might see the clip on TikTok or whatever, and compact disc, especially the younger, some of the younger people. Those are compact disc.
Yeah, I don't even say floppy. Last one, and Tesla robot shows off its dexterity by picking up things with fingers, and I think that's more that robot AI thing. Telling all you, I have no problem with the large language models. You know, you see them humanoid robots. I have a problem with that. But we'll talk about it as we go along. So let's go to the first story. So D Hub was based on the Ministry of Digital Transformation, right? Correct? Basically, the Ministry of Digital Transformation was tasked with carrying us forward technologically, and one of the things that they decided to do was create a sort of competition, a Shark Tank kind of vibes, where, well, we didn't know it was a Shark Tank kind of vibes, right? We just thought that you could apply to solve a problem. And when they solve the problem, they will choose a winner. But apparently it was televised, and they had a show, and they had consultants and all kind of stuff. So here's the article. The top local digital solutions developers have created applications that promise to improve the quality of service delivery of critical government services such as health, customs, postal, immigration, and environmental management. On Saturday, 27th April, the winners of the 2024 edition of the Ministry of Digital Transformation's D Hub Developers Hub Challenge showcase their revolutionary digital solutions. Each winning team developers has won $350,000. So the concept is that you had to choose a problem to solve. It could have been the problem with the postal service or health or whatever. And then you had to go and pitch this.
Yeah.
And pitching it now was strange to me. I didn't get to watch it because it was showing on TTT before the news. I was like 6:30, and 6:30 I always like doing something. 7:30. Somewhere around.
Like for me now, I have no TV at all, like nothing. I just have internet.
You don't even have a TV on the wall?
Nope. Well, you have a TV, but I mean, like, if I could go and put on the TV to channel 3 and see TTT now.
Me too. I would know. So I was looking for some YouTube clips of it, and I don't think I was able to find any. So I'm hoping
it's on YouTube. All the episodes on Ministry of Digital Transformation.
Okay. Well then, so I'll probably go and watch it. So right now we're talking kind of blind, slightly uninformed, and I'm sure my past student who won one of the awards.
Real?
Yes, the real-time S42 address identification for TT Post.
Okay.
Sinead Hamill-Smith. Yeah, she's one of our past students. That's actually one of my first students. My first Form 5. Yeah, so I taught her from Form 4 or 5 into Form 6. And she did IT with me. But that was before I was teaching computer science. But she did arts also. Yeah.
So in a sense, we could say you won the TT Post challenge.
As soon as I get a chance to get on the podcast, I will hear what she have to say, and she might say inspiring words about what I did in her life. But she did IT and art, so I think she's the developer, the front end side of it. The other guy, Kwasi Edwards, is the developer code back end partner.
Nice.
Let me go through the 4 things that they cooking up with solutions for. We went through this last year when we went through the website. Real-time S42 address identification for TT Posts, personalized health monitoring and advisory for Ministry of Health, liquor license data management for Customs and Excise Division, noise pollution measurement and reporting for the EMA, and online passport application tracking for the Immigration Division. When we went through this, I think we kind of gave it a rating of which one is the hardest one to do, and I vaguely remember we were kind of talking about which one of these is the most difficult.
Your memory better than mine, because I can't remember that.
I think so, because I remember saying the noise pollution one would be very difficult because you basically go and install an app on our phone and try to tell how loud a party is or something, and how you go and have a trigger for it or something. So I'm very interested to watch that episode. But the coolest one is the address identification for TT Post. You know what that S42 address?
Yeah, I think I forget how much digits, but I know it is.
That's
like
the point,
5
like
or 6 digits
a zip code or something?
Yeah, like a zip code, yeah.
Yeah. So they basically break you up into different, break the map up into
territories and
territories.
assign certain things and
yeah, and get the zip code. So that one, they probably came up with a solution for it. We'll look at it whenever we get a chance. Maybe when I get on the podcast, and maybe we might get some of the others on the podcast too. I want to get into that. But from a technological perspective, this is a very groundbreaking thing to me from a developer perspective. Because,
you think so?
Well, there were 3 teams for each one of them, right? So let me say there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 categories. That means that's 15 different sets of developers were highlighted. And in my like humble estimation, I didn't even know it had 10 developers in Trinidad. In terms of teams now. Like teams with registered businesses and whatnot that doing work now. Were recognized. I know there are a lot of solo people who just be like, they have a little project and they're working and they have their little company and whatnot. But these are actual teams. Some of the teams I see 4 people and they had these bios on Instagram and whatnot talking about things that they've done in the past and where they came from and things.
So I will say my experience a little different. Because I mean I commend this particular competition and this version of it, because in the past I actually entered a lot of these type of competitions. I entered the first one I entered was like in 2012, did one 2013, and I did our next one a couple of years later, and one was funded by World Open Data, one by IDB. One was like a coach print, one was Google Startup Weekend, was another one too, and we actually won. I won 2 of them. Well, the team I was with won 2 of them and came second on the other one, and it was a similar thing, it was a whole lot of people in one space, but just the time frame was shorter, it was like a weekend, it was like a few days. You had a lot of people coming together. You had designers, you had developers, you had like more business oriented people, and they would come together, pitch your ideas. You'll form a team, try and have the right synergy with the developer, the designer, pitch the idea, try to solve a problem. You had to come up with a business case, try to do a prototype or MVP. So we had similar things like this in the past, and you had people. And I mean, similar to probably what you say, my eyes were open in terms of, we have a lot of talent and developers in Trinidad, because normally, you're out in the wild, you're by yourself, you're not really seeing, you don't really have those types of environments. And I mean, that was 10, 11, 12 years ago. So it wasn't really a surprise to me. But so, as I was saying, I won. The teams I were in we won those some competitions twice. The first one you won, you got a bit of money, not a lot of money, like $10,000. And you won a trip to Washington, that type of thing. So the other one too, you won a bit of money.
But was it like a competition to get the MVP and then you just get recognized, or were they investing in your projects?
So that's what I wanted to hone in on. Like in terms of the competition part, you pitch your stuff, you're trying to compete, you have the best idea, best business case, but after you win to actually go to MVP and actual product, that is where those competitions fell short, in the sense that they offered mentorship to meet with people in the industry. They offered some type of funding, but not a lot. And that's where the fall off was, in terms of, you win the competition, you have a okay idea, but in terms of actually implementing it or bringing it to market, that's where the fall off was. But in this case, at least it seemed like, okay, it's a similar concept, but it is on a bigger scale, in the sense that they have very good production. They actually make a show out of it, and there's a longer timeline. And they invested real money, $350,000. That's a lot. You could do a lot with that,
Yeah.
So at least in this case now, they have some type of continuity between you're doing a competition, you're winning, and they actually have the funding to actually do something and bring an MVP and probably go on to implement. I mean, after you implement, how you'd continue bringing in revenue for something that's like a government platform, I'm not sure, but at least you have funding to, bring it to MVP stage.
Well, the government, I guess, being a part of it would, quote unquote, follow through with the implementation of it and the integration of it, right? No.
So
for you to put, go ahead, let me hear.
So saying that, right, the government will follow through on it. But my thing is, right, to get to that point, I think it have some prerequisites. Like, a lot of these things calls for process changes, or even digital records, or even, putting new things in place.
Yeah, culture changes. Yeah, I understand.
So it goes hand in hand. These people could implement the technology. They could clearly bring a product to market or whatever. But on the other side, people and processes that you had to bring along with the bring along to as well with the technology.
Well, I didn't watch the thing, which is why we had to get one or two of them on.
Yeah.
But I want to know what is the next step. But there's definitely the burning question. Matter of fact, I'm going to see if I can get on next week, right?
Yeah.
The burning question is, what is the next step, and how that next step is going to be realized, where they could you could log into the D Hub now. Okay, sorry, I was explaining the website. Yeah, you can register and log in here. All right. I want to know what's the next step and how they plan to put it. Because if they give a pitch, they could give the pitch, and the pitch could be basically a technological pitch only. But if they could give a pitch with some sort of mode of implementation, or things that need to get done, or certain milestones, based on what they know, because I would imagine that they wouldn't just be given the problem and say, well, here, solve that. They would have to do some research. They'll find out what is taking place right now, get the documentation that they have currently, or actually, I don't know. But I'm hoping, we speaking with hope right now, because 350,000 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're paying about and let's say production costs, social media, website development, all them thing. They could have put like a 1.5 million, maybe a 2 million into just this whole project to make sure that it get done properly. And I really thought it was just a behind the scenes kind of thing, but the fact that they had a show, they had the Shark Tank kind of vibes. Somebody was thinking inside the Ministry of Digital Transformation about, okay, if we have to do this, we have to give it some sort of, not just the technical side, but we also have to televise this. We also have to advertise it. We also have to catch the eyes of people. And of course, they caught our eyes, which is good.
Yeah.
And when I was watching the content on Instagram and the interviews and the things that they're saying and they talking about where they came from and all those different things, I was like, hey, somebody went into production mode for this now. This is our production to highlight the fact that software solutions are being worked on and the ministry is behind it.
You know, it's our next kind of, it's not a bad thing, but for shows like this, right?
Yeah.
The most technical people are not necessarily the ones
that win, yeah.
Correct, it's kind of how good they could sell your product and some of the bells and whistles and,
Yeah,
so
nice. I was coming to that.
So,
because,
and even some of these, I think some of these solutions, these things I was presented, a lot of it not necessarily working, but it's just, you show a little prototype, you do a little wire, While it are people who could probably really execute it and they're real strong technically, but they're just, bringing it to that point.
I'll tell you a story that, what is called this thing? What they used to call it? By a hackathon. Yeah. They used to call it hackathon. They had a hackathon for girls. That was a few years ago, probably like 2017, I think. So that is girls in ICT hackathon. So I have my computer science class and I say, we go into the hackathon and we go in and kill it. So they come, they give you this theme in the morning and they be like, all right, come up with something by the afternoon. I get my class sit down and them code a whole HTML website from scratch. No WordPress, nothing. Because they're doing HTML for their IAs now. So they understand how to do the HTML website from scratch and build an actual working website and all them kind of things. And the people that win just have this kind of pie in the sky presentation. What we plan to do is this, and then we'll be able to do this, and then we will do that, and then we put a GPS tracker on it, and then we'll do it. And I like, they I think they had present something about jewelry, and they're going to put jewelry that will be able to track you because it's going to protect. And I was like, how you going to fit a battery inside it? How you going to keep all those things? And in the end, they had this presentation of what could happen, and we had actual, and all the people that had actual working products won nothing. And that kind of threw me back to, I hope this didn't give the people who have the flair and even though the flair and the ability to orate and speak and present is necessary, because in order to get funding, you gotta be able to talk to people and you gotta convince those people that they should give you the money. But if it's for developers, I hope there was a part of it, which we will have to get very clear when we get some of them on. For those of you all listening and saying, so why do you just get the people? I was like, yes, we are listening. All of you all who are listening, we're going to try to get them. If one of the developers is listening to the podcast right now because you like to listen to us talk about technology, hit us up. We want to talk to all you and we want to find out the background behind it.
I spoke to one of the people who entered it. They didn't actually win, and they say, it had some people that, they focus more on the presentation and the bells and whistles instead of something that actually. So some of it did happen, and I'm not sure if it turned out that those were the people that won, but some of that kind of thing did happen.
Okay.
Where the focus was more on the presentation than functionality. And I mean, a good part of it is the presentation. If you could tell them, hey, this is a problem, but this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to solve it. How we, and it's like, once we get the funding, we'll do it. We'll build out the MVP, but this is how it's going to look,
Yeah.
You need this feature. We have it too.
I promise you, I understand exactly where you're coming from. Like, all right. So next week podcast, I'm gonna get at least one of them. I can't make a promise, but I'm going to try to get at least one of them because we need to ask some questions. But overall, the reason why we highlighted it today is because I am happy that even though it may not be the most perfect of things because it's a version 1, it happened. And there's real money that went into it. There was real production that went into it. And they are real people, because I know one of them who's actually a developer, and you know one of them who's actually a developer, many other developers who have the ability to do something, and they have some, hopefully they have some money in their hands. It's probably given out in tranches, like our first 100,000, then our next 50, then our next 50, then our next 50.
Let's take long to pay.
Yeah. Then they ain't get any whole 350 one time, I'm sure about that. But they already, they have some sort of press, accountability to the fact that, well,
and I think like everyone, whether or not you won, you got 50,000, and they actually got that money already. I think it's 50,000. I think so, around there.
Okay.
You know, so, and like for me, the big thing is like, you know, this competition, all the production and stuff, but the actual follow through afterwards, you know, to actually try and bring an MVP, and the fact that they pouring 350k into it. I mean, some people may not reach an MVP, but at least they have something going on after you win. You know, it's not just you win and, you know, then what? You know, it has some type of continuity.
Yeah.
To get somewhere.
Interesting. Very interesting. I would really want to see. Yeah. All right. Good. So next week for sure. And the next one is about the government too, but for those of y'all who don't know, I want to be very clear. I'll let all you know. Akeem and I, we really don't like to talk about the government too much, because when you put them clips on TikTok, there's always have one set of, I don't know where those just pop out from all over. Yeah, the videos go viral and it's get like a 50k, a 60k. But half of it is just be real annoying. Well, I don't know if he find it annoying, but it's be real annoying to me that I talking about that technology and all you could tell me is about you hate the PNM or you hate Rowley or you hate the government or it's backward thinking, third world country, all that kind of thing. I just want the technology to go good, but I understand politics is a part of it, so we stay away from the politics. But the next one we gotta talk about the politics, but I won't tell you. I'll say a certain minister. A certain minister said there was a technical error in clearing checks, and that caused a big problem. So we're coming back with that.
In today's digital age, every business needs a strong online presence to reach new customers and stay competitive. But not every business needs a complex website or a full-fledged e-commerce solution. At makeITsimpleTT, we understand that every business has unique needs, and we offer a range of tailored solutions to fit those needs. Over the years, we've helped many businesses. Our services include website design and development. We create a professional and user-friendly website like these that represent your brand and drives results. Invoicing and payment processing. We can streamline your billing process with a user-friendly invoicing system that integrates seamlessly with most payment gateways, and you can receive online payments easily. We also do automated order forms, which allows you to collect orders online and customer information effortlessly and send back automated emails, notifications, and reminders, and then you just have to make the sale at the end. And in some cases, we offer custom software development, where we can create a specialized software system that meets your business's specific needs. But the key to all this is that we make it simple. If it's not easy for you to use, then we failed. So you can contact us today to learn more about how we can help make your business more successful. You can WhatsApp us at 1-868-308-8799, or you can visit makeITsimpleTT.com/business.
So this one, I'll label blame the computer. I'm going to share the go and share the page without sharing the picture of the person right here. Well, we'll see the name, but yeah. The 2.6. It's right there. But for the audio listeners, they don't see anything. Yeah, for the 2.6 billion, which was we had to mention the name. Yes, it was Colin Imbert, finance minister. Yes. Right. The 2.6 billion, which erroneously wasn't stated in TNT's 2023 revenues and subsequently caused a problem between the government and the Auditor General recently, was due to a new automated system across the financial sector, which is operated by the central bank. Finance Minister Colin Imbert confirmed last Friday. Inbit said this country's 2023 accounts were submitted on January 31st, 2024, deadline to the Auditor General. But because of challenges following the introduction of a new automated system, actual revenue was initially underreported by 2.6 billion. So, essentially, there was a problem with the way that they clearing checks now. They used to clear checks and it had to be mailed officially, via paper. But under this new system, here's the part in the article. Under this new system, physical checks are no longer required to be transported from commercial banks to the central bank and then back to the IR for reconciliation. Instead, checks are scanned and images are uploaded to the electronic clearing system, then transmitted to CBTT, shortening the time for clearing checks. Which is a thing. In the States, when you have to cash a check, you take a picture of it and you upload it and the check cash in however how long it is, because there is no physical reason that you have to see the actual check. Checks have numbers on them. They reconcile the numbers because the number linked to a checkbook. The checkbook was issued by the bank, and you could there are many ways that you could double check it, right? Apparently,
but it's only for like a certain amount. If it's over a certain amount, you can scan it.
Yes, correct. Yeah. So this system has been put in place in Trinidad. The central bank put it in place. And somewhere along the line, one of the electronic checks didn't make it to get to get cash. I don't know.
Is it a problem with the system or a problem with how the people are using the system?
Good question. So, IR officers, IR stands for
Internal Relations.
Inland Revenue, right?
Yeah.
Right. IR officers said it was difficult to easily access the new electronic check clearing platform. Further, files on the platform contain multiple tax types instead of being batched into various tax types, as previously explained. Inbit said that the new electronic system doesn't batch the tax types and instead sends all the files to one IR. This created difficulties.
Okay. So, this is a new system, right?
Yeah.
So you went through a whole implementation phase. You get a problem, you make a solution, you test it, you develop it, you implement it, but you didn't realize it not doing what you wanted to do when you're in production.
That it wasn't replicating what you were replicating or making better what you were doing physically. Yeah.
Yeah. So the kind of saying it's not doing what it's supposed to do, and you're supposed to test it before you implement it, that type of thing.
I don't know how to interpret it.
Yeah.
But it seems like, and I can't be sure, that the people who put it in place were like, oh, when y'all get it, all you can just batch it into the types that it's supposed to be. And they'll be like, oh yeah, cool, no problem, cool.
Yeah,
and then when they actually got it, they were like, how do we batch it?
Yeah, but you're supposed to test that. Like, okay, let me do a little training. This is how you do the batching. Let me test the system, not do it when it live with the actual live check data. So it's either this is the first time they're doing it and they really don't know how it's supposed to work, or they did it before and it's something happen along the way. Because I don't wanna think this is the first time they're coming across this issue. They didn't think that, okay, for the system to work, it need to do batching in a certain way, and there is not something we think about testing or looking at before.
All right. So it seemed like the problem is the inland revenue people. Let me tell you why. It says, under this new system, physical checks are no longer required to be transported from commercial banks to the central bank. So the commercial banks would upload all the information to the central bank. And the central bank, more than likely, would be the people that put the system in place. And the central bank would be like, yeah, we seen everything cool, working here, blah, blah, blah. And then it has to go back to inland revenue for reconciliation. Reconciliation means what you saw is what I saw.
Yeah.
The people in Inland Revenue, they probably never see the system.
Right. So don't blame the system.
Yeah.
Blame your process into your implementation process. You do things in silos. The people call Inland Revenue's government, right? The people in Central Bank, nobody system. People in Inland Revenue don't know how things are supposed to be or how the new process is supposed to be. Right? You think it's a system problem or like a process?
I don't think it's a system problem because the system's job is to scan the images and put them in a place where everybody can access it at the same time so that you won't have the back and forth. Basically, the thing was 3 days to go one place, 3 days to go one place. All of we could just look at the same, let's say for example, a Google Drive, and we all go in the Google Drive. You check what you have to check, you fill out your spreadsheet. I check what I have to check, you fill out your spreadsheet. Then we compare spreadsheets. If the numbers add up on the two spreadsheets, that's reconciliation, right? Essentially.
Yeah.
Somebody couldn't go in Google Drive properly. Or somebody couldn't sort in Google Drive properly. And because they couldn't sort it properly, they were like, this thing not batching. We're not getting this type of file to match with that file. You could sort by date, you could sort by file type. Right. Somebody was like, we can't sort by file type, boy. You know which button to press? No, I don't know which button to press. Okay, wait. No, don't press that button, boy. Yeah, no. Call them in Central Bank. No, don't call by Central Bank, boy. They will get vexed with you because they're supposed to be not talking to us. And I think
it couldn't be read by the gen tax system without errors, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. You need to test that before you go with production. If you know it how to integrate with your gen tax system, don't wait until you're doing your auditor general's thing to be like, hey, let me check this and see if this is working.
So the people in Inland Revenue was just sitting down waiting for the physical checks to come, and then somebody come in one day and say, hey, we have this new system, will you go log in with this username and password, go and see what it have inside dinner. And they like, what's this? This is not Gentax. And they're like, don't worry, you can get it in Gentax easy, just download all the files and put it inside. But the errors were occurring because they were experiencing difficulty with the magnetic ink character recognition used to verify check legitimacy required to recheck. I hope that they didn't print out checks on paper and then try to pass it through a MICR, like a magnetic ink reader, and then be like, oh yeah, we can. Just so, sorry, I wouldn't assume that was nope.
Right, he says the electronic system doesn't batch the tax types, instead it sends it as one file. So, why you get a system not doing it like that? And I don't know why. Like, if you know you're getting a new system and you know it had to integrate with this other system, the integration point, you had to test to see, okay, sending it in this format, make sure this one could consume it.
Yeah, but from what I know from the people that are working, shout out to all the people that I know working in different ministries, they have 20 people. Right? Let me say hypothetically, they have 20 people that go and open a bag of checks and physically look at each check number and put them in a particular envelope or tray or something, and that is batching for them. So so if you do that digitally, every time you scan a check, you had to put the batching system in place one time. But remember, the central bank, their job is not to do that. Their job is to, well, I guess they probably have some sorting, but their job is to collect the checks from the bank and check for legitimacy and take the money. But Inland Revenue now have to check things by tax brackets and who sent what and the amount and all that kind of things. So, yeah, and we just speaking in the sky right now. If anybody know better, please let us know. But this song, just like the implementation of a system where one company or one arm of the company, one department know exactly what to do, and the other department just is expected to be like, well, yeah, we're using technology, it will work. And that caused a big $2.6 billion not to be quoted in our revenue. And they blame technology. So you know what the old people can't say now. Know what
don't blame the implement. I don't think it's the technology. It's how a lack of. I think it's just a lack of like thinking through the entire process. They then think it up to central bank, but beyond that, they then think how things going and integrate beyond that. I know if they assume inland revenue would not be able to just take the file like that, but it should have some type of communication between the both of them. It's inland revenue, we bringing out on board this new system. This is how the file is going to be. Inland revenue will be like, okay, let me see if this will work for you. So you're like, nah, this can't work. We need to do our little work around.
Yeah. That's like
ideally, this had happened before you go live with your new system.
That's like some people, like before JSON files was real big.
Yeah.
You used to send a SQL file now, like the actual you used to send the old database now. And then when JSON files start to become a thing and people was expecting the SQL and they send them JSON, they're like, how you just read that?
Yeah.
It's just looking like a CSV file with a bunch of trees and comma separated values and thing. Yeah, brackets and thing. And reading JSON files was I think that was a difficult thing for a lot of companies who would have been using traditional relational databases, and then these new JSON file. Well, a JSON file is basically a way of communicating standard communication between databases, right? Are correct? What I was saying there? I think
it is in JavaScript something. I can't remember.
Yeah. Basically, well, if you want to use an API, APIs were just built to feed off of JSON files and do what they had to do. So you don't have to spend a whole set of time integrating with our API. Just format it in JSON, and then the API will pick it up.
Talking about APIs, I'm doing a course to learn Node.
Node.js? I hear that course meant to pull out eyeballs and things. But yeah.
I have it too, so you'll see.
Yeah, so basically, if I were to break it down into something that would be technical, which is one person using one file, next person using another file, and then when you send them the file, they don't know what to do, and they try their best to make it work, but they didn't.
Probably I'll go a step further. One person using a file, next person using paper.
And ladies and gentlemen, he is totally correct. I will not, I ain't cutting across that at all. But yeah, the system in there, and I'm glad. So if I go down to the rest of this article, right? Sounds like a job for the D Hub challenge and time to replace the old paper shufflers with the new tech-savvy generation. I remember a controller being fired for such an error, and that was back in the days of less intelligent computers when a single Excel spreadsheet error could cause a CEO to have a heart attack. Somebody said, never see trying to use technology with which you have inadequate expertise. Bottom line is, what was the money really spent on? Blah. Okay, that's the thing. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But yeah, that's basically and exactly what you say. Is it a fact? Before any new IT system software goes live, it is tested vigorously to make sure any bugs are ironed out and removed. Why wasn't this done? It's kind of
that's like real bottom and bare minimum. Like test your system.
Yeah. I don't know. It probably. And then again, it could have been an international person who set it up and then leave it there, and they was like, yeah, we set it up, sign off and move on. And
I mean, Gentax that's not a local thing. I think I shared that with you the other day. It's a Canadian company that did that. And I'm sure this new system is not a local leader.
Yeah, probably.
So who knows? They probably didn't pay for that integration.
Oh yes, you could be correct. You could be correct, and then they'll say, or they could figure this out, and they say,
the consultants was like, I don't know, maybe give them the benefit of the doubt. Was like, hey, what about this integration with Gentax inland revenue? And the consultants was like, all in pay for that.
Yeah.
And the bus out.
Could be. All right. Well, we will see how that looking. Probably D Hub could fix it now. D Hub been fixing something so entrenched. Central bank and using D Hub people. That too risky.
Yeah. And again that's my thing about this whole about D Hub too, right? Yeah, the technology. Yeah, the people that could execute it, but the people and the processes need to come along with everything. Because same thing could happen. Yeah, they do whatever, but next thing you see a minister come on TV, health minister, whoever minister to do the challenge ones like, yeah, it's a new system. These D Hub people do the system, and that is why it working properly. When it is...
Or when they try to want it, but when it is the people themselves...
It's a people process problem.
Yeah. I get you.
That had to go hand in hand with whatever new technology we bringing forward.
Right. Talking about new technology, time to go into the international story, which is going to get me on my high horse again, my little soapbox to let you all know. We'll talk about it. It's about AI and robots again, because I want to let you all know that these humanoid robots, they ain't necessary. They will get out of hand real fast. But let's see. Next story is about the Tesla bot. Have you ever tried to order something online using a Visa debit card, but you can't? Is shopping online something you always do already using a Skybox, but sometimes you need advice on knowing what to buy or what will work? I'm Mr. Charles from makeITsimpleTT, and we aim to make technologies that solve problems in a Caribbean context. So we created Order It. What is it, you ask? What is Order It? It's an app and a website that helps you order it in two ways. The first way is if you already order things online. You're familiar with using a Skybox, you're familiar with using a credit card, but sometimes you don't always have answers to certain questions, like which laptops will get a warranty in Trinidad, which phones will work on the Digicel network or the mobile network. So our app helps you order it. Every product that we list in the app, we will let you know the truth based on the experience of 20 years of ordering things online and using various Skyboxes in Trinidad and Tobago. So here are some of the questions that the app answers for you based on the products that we list. What are the taxes? Why does it cost so much when I actually get it? What is dimensional weight? All these questions and more, we answer in the app because we want to help you order it. All you have to do is simply pick from our list of recommended items that we know and trust because we've ordered it already. Follow through the payment process, we'll order it, and we can even have it delivered to you. So why don't you give it a try? Search for Order It by makeITsimpleTT in the App Store or the Google Play Store, or you can even go online to orderit.makeITsimpleTT.com and check and see if we could answer some of your questions and help you in the process of ordering it. So, hear me out. ChatGPT 5 coming out, and what's his face? Adam, what your name is, man? Was he the CEO of Sam Altman? Sam Altman said, when ChatGPT 5 comes out, ChatGPT 4 will be the dumbest language model that you've ever seen. And so he really rated up ChatGPT 5.
So GPT-4 going to replace 3, so 4 going to be the free one?
Yeah, most likely. And the 5, he said, well, what 5 could do will blow your mind and all that kind of things, right? And we live to see it and whatnot. But this here, Optimus, it is able to do a little more dexterity, apply a little more dexterity than it used to be able to before. Because remember, this thing have fingers, but one of the hardest things to get the robots to do is the fingers, right? So watch this, right? How it is changing? Wow, you can't change the resolution on a Twitter video. Anyhow.
Yeah.
It should auto update, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. So I'm taking off the audio. This is it picking up batteries by hand. So the human feeding it in is moving slowly, but it's picking it up and putting it inside. You know the thing you'll teach children to do when they're 3 years old?
Yeah.
To put shapes inside. Yeah.
And there's not somebody just in a suit like the
no,
the last time.
And it making mistakes.
Yeah.
Picking it up, using our thumb and our index finger right? Now it's getting trained by humans to do these actions, but it's reinforcement learning. So this is something that a human would stand up and do, or you build a machine to do it, or a special purpose human.
A robot arm. That's an arm.
Yeah, a robot arm would do. Yeah, and the dexterity of the fingers is a serious thing now. So hear me out. Why not just get a robot arm to do it?
Yeah. I don't know, maybe they want... They don't just want it to do that, you know. You could do this, then you go move to the next station, do something else that's not just that arm motion, you know. So they probably wanted to apply to different.
I fighting to grasp the necessity for it to be a humanoid. Yeah. Because if the humanoid part of it goes anywhere south, and I am the furthest person from a conspiracy theorist. Furthest person from a conspiracy theorist. But if you give it the ability to do all these humanoid actions, it's very possible that a malefactor, a bad person, could get into these software systems and turn it into an army and like legitimately create the iRobot thing. But not from a sci-fi perspective. But if people could say, all right, yeah, we have the greatest website security in the world and blah, 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 and talk it up. And little 17-year-old children and thing, right? Getting into your system and doing all kind of shiftiness. It had no way Tesla could like officially tell me, yeah, these things cannot be hacked.
Look what has happened to the self-driving cars. Yeah. What was the Cybertruck?
Yeah, exactly. The one that cutting off your finger. Yeah, you see that video? Yeah. Yeah, see a Cybertruck when I may or may not have seen a Cybertruck in person over the weekend. May or may not. I was sending a picture on WhatsApp. Anyway, yeah. And I drove inside a Tesla too. But we'll I guess.
Yeah. I drove inside one. Yeah. Down here in Trinidad. So
All right. Okay, well. Yeah. When I see the Cybertruck, I was like, okay, I had a fanboy it out. I don't want to take a picture. But back to the point here. If these things get hacked in any form or fashion, and this is not tinfoil hat Andrea, this is just general tech person Andre. Same. If these things get hacked and get some sort of code that causes them to do bad things, what is the fail-safe? Is there a particular place that you could shoot them that will disable them? Do you shoot the aim for the Achilles, or do you just shoot them at random until bullets take them down?
Can you fight them? How strong they're going to be? How much resistance? I could just...
Yeah, and you know the shows on them must tell you, I am not programmed to harm humans and all that kind of shippiness. But my premise is 17-year-olds that hack government websites, break into databases, get into all kind of things just because human error when coding is a thing. And all these things getting all this reinforcement learning and learning how to do all the human actions. I am fully convinced that you will be able to put some malicious script inside there and get them to start to do weird stuff. And when it starts to do weird stuff, it's not because they get a mind of their own or they becoming sentient, but bad humans will be able to use good tools, which is basically the problem of humanity. We have good tools that could do everything, but the bad humans will just make it work. And that's why I don't think it should be because if it's a robotic arm, the robotic arm is connected to a particular platform on the tower. All that arm could do is swing around and hit you by mistake if you go in its vicinity. But this thing will criminally walk up to you and slap you or cuff you with the bad programming in it.
Yeah.
So if I program a robotic arm to, let me say you're working in an egg factory, right?
Yeah.
And the egg factory, I programmed the robotic arm to, instead of taking the eggs and put it in the crate, to pick up the egg and pelt it at people. Cool, no problem. I just find the main power source and cut off the assembly line. Robotic arm can't pelt anything. But if this criminal robot walking wrong, slapping people, how I get into the power supply on the back when he could hit me at elbow if he want to with the right programming? And let me say one of the Tesla engineers who working on this right now get disgruntled and literally knows this thing.
Put some malicious code at the back door.
Yeah, because remember the humans is the problem, right? Yeah. You get disgruntled and you get vexed or some kind of thing and you put a rat inside it, a remote. People who don't know what rat is, remote access Trojan, right? Yeah. So you install that rat inside there and say, okay, cool, no problem, I gone. And you go and you work for some other company, some grey hat hackers, and be like, yeah, I'll put a rat and all them robots, we can access them if we want to. That is a legitimate issue if you have all of these on our workflow.
Yeah.
And then...
I mean, same thing you're programming it to do human actions. It's a real bad human actions, You can program it to do. Same way you're programming it to, with the fingers to pick up a battery. You can program it to pick up a gun, hold it.
Aim, yes, correct. And because it's reinforcement learning, it ain't taking you long to get our program. You just had to do the action a few like 100 times maybe. And then it will just kind of understand the concept because it be working on goals. So I am on the train of it shouldn't be a humanoid. I'm for the robots, but not the humanoid ones.
I don't think Elon Musk. I don't think Elon Musk does listen to the podcast.
I still yet to get an answer on why humanoid. Like other than the fact that it's supposed to make humans feel comfortable. I don't know.
I don't know about that. I mean, it's probably similar to what we talk about as like the standard in terms of, progress in people's minds. Whether good or bad, the more humanoid a robot look, the more advanced it is, or more capable it is.
I laughing today. My son lying on the ground eating food, right? Because, the ground clean because we have a robot vacuum. So that robot vacuum will be cleaning the ground twice a day. So he eating the food and he's like, hey, don't come for my food. I was like, who you talking to? You talking to the vacuum, Because the vacuum was cleaning at that point in time and was basically driving up to the food, trying to bounce it to see if it's an obstacle or not. Yeah. And I was just like, wait, imagine if, somebody program my robot to chase down my son.
Yeah.
He go want to kick it or something. That's what we does. Anyhow, that's my view. That's my view, all. Tell me if I'm crazy. You can message at makeITsimpleTT and let me know if you think I'm crazy or paranoid. Because I don't consider myself to be a paranoid person, but I think I understand from a technology perspective, this could be an issue.
Yeah,
it's like drones. Drones are bombs now. Kamikaze drones.
Yeah.
They could go and just, you could take a drone and fly straight into a building with napalm or something. So
the only thing kinda, it's not really a deterrent, but it's expensive to create one right now. So not like I could mass produce them and form an army or that type of thing. So at least now.
But you don't want to go commercial next year for 60,000 US for one.
How long now he wanted to bring out the Cybertruck?
All right. Okay. All right.
And this is what is it thing? Neuralink?
Yeah.
And that was supposed to come to market.
Neuralink on human clinical trials. So once you're on human, it's just the FCC, FTA,
FDA or something.
FDA, Which one of the federal whatever people? Yeah, them. That's how he had to go through that dance now. But the human trials, once you're in human trials, you did. Like you can sign up for the
close, but
all right,
can still fail
because it's not like COVID, it's a vaccine. All right, okay. Yeah. Like a random story. I I taken off my tinfoil hat. I am a tech evangelist earlier. I want technology to work. I promise you. I just have to be real about that one. I have to be real about that.
And I mean, we live in China. It's take 10, 15 years for things to reach. So I mean,
I ain't worried about it in Trinidad. I'm worried about it becoming a part of the next World War. If it becomes a next part of the World War, Trinidad going to have to go to war too because they will use us as a base.
I mean, I think robots is the last thing is like the least I worries with our World War when it's our atomic bombs, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. But they might get put to maintain law and order. I don't know. The dog too, you know. I know. The dog. We're going to talk about the dog. The dog with the flamethrower. He burn it up. Alright, random story time before we close off. Random story. Well, you know what happened today? Apple released the thinnest iPad ever. The thing is less 5 millimeters.
Yeah, the thinnest iPad ever. You know, this how it always had to be that. And the M4 chip, the new M4 chip, I think.
Yeah, the new M4 chip, yeah. And Google released the Pixel 8a. But I want to talk about the iPad one. The M4, the new iPad, right? Okay.
A new pencil with some, I can't remember, some new feature where you could click it or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, now that article not really helping the situation. Let me see if I get one. Apple introduced them. Let me see Wired. Wired might be good enough. Share the tab instead. Okay. Why isn't the new Apple Pencil Pro backward compatible? Oh wow, it's not backward compatible. Jeez. Okay. iPad models. Everything.
$129 for Apple Pencil.
Oh yeah. Okay, so they have the all new M4 chip. The M4 chip is, I don't know, 50% faster than the M2 on the previous iPad Pro. Yay! Thanks. The OLED iPad Pro, it's a M1 chip, yada. So it have a better display. Right, the thinnest one, right?
Before we go there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was he outsider people who's probably do animations and all of that? Like?
Not a soul using all that power. Not a soul. Nobody.
Yeah.
And I tell you, nobody. Like, nobody gonna render 8K video for fun. They using Chrome, you playing Fruit Ninja and Candy Crush, watching YouTube videos, and your phone, your iPad could render the trajectory to get to Mars if you wanted to.
Yeah. But, and like, alright, outside of that, like people we age, right? Or a little younger or whatever, right? Outside of like younger children who's probably had an iPad and watch videos and things, like, would you buy and use an iPad? Like you?
No.
And yeah.
I wouldn't even buy and use a tablet. Like,
yeah, me too.
What I buying and using a tablet
I have a laptop
for?
I have a phone. I don't need something in between.
Because there are people I know who trying their best to replace their laptop with a iPad Pro. And I like, why you fighting so hard?
Yeah, just
to replace your laptop when your laptop working.
Yeah.
What? Because you had to do all kind of bells and whistles, buy keyboard, buy stand, buy dock, all kind of thing. By the time you're done, your bag full of accessories when you could just get a laptop that closes.
Yeah.
And it baffling me, real baffling me. But tablets are a thing, and because they're a thing, Apple making money off iPads, so they just keep going ahead. So, what else they put? I read some more. Yeah, so it's 5.1 millimeters thick. That real thin. That real thin. I like, it will feel like it could break in your hand. Less than 1 pound. It will feel like you're holding nothing when you're holding that. There's 0.98. Okay, 1 pound basically. And there's that. Then they have it have some bigger ones. The screen a little different. Then it have an Apple Pencil that it's not backward compatible.
See what the Pencil does. I think it has a new feature.
The latest Pro these days. There's now a squeeze capability that opens a new tool, a palette, You could double tap to get it, and a new haptic engine inside offers you feedback as you squeeze. A built-in gyroscope sensor lets you change the orientation of tools you're using as you twist the pencil, offering an even finer controls. So I guess when you squeeze it, you'll get like a pop-up of different colors or different shapes or whatever. It's $129 for the pencil alone. $129 is the price of a Samsung tablet. And that the Samsung tablet, the Samsung tablet I bought for my school robotics. Yeah. And they programming on that. Yeah, that's the tablet that they're using because it's fit for purpose. All you need to do is open one app, drag some blocks on top of each other, and press run, and the robot driving. Fit for purpose. But I guess there are many artists, I don't know. New Magic keyboard and case. Well, of course, that is going to cost you $349.
Wow. Just buy a laptop.
Yeah. So you go and buy the iPad Pro for $600. Then buy the case when you could get a M2 laptop or M1 laptop for $800 US. Yeah. But form factor, I guess. Yeah. And this is not us coming on, because if anybody had to come on Apple, it would be Akeem, because he have a MacBook, he have an iPhone his whole life. But I not coming on Apple. I just find that it ain't worth it to spend so much money on something that you're going to use, I don't know, maybe 10% of its capability. That's the people who buy a Ferrari and drive on the side roads. Yeah. Every day. That could never be worth it.
I can understand for like animators and people who do graphic design and who in now the iPad Pro, that would make sense with the pencil and all of that. Who need that touchscreen and that interface, but if you're going to use your iPad Pro...
For the 1 in 10 people.
Yeah, if you're going to use it as a replacement for a laptop, then I don't know about that.
I don't know.
It's how some people just use it kind of like a phone to browse and to watch Netflix. Some people just use the iPad to like watch Netflix and stream and do stuff like that, but I don't know, like when they're traveling or whatever, but I don't know. But in that case, you don't need an iPad Pro. You just get a regular iPad.
My daughter have an old iPad, a 2017 iPad that her grandmother gave her, I think.
Yeah.
And she's watched most of her videos on that. She'll be on YouTube day and night. Just YouTube and YouTube, over and over and over and over. Yeah. And that's all she know to use it for.
Yeah.
So, like, if she was to tell me, Daddy, I want a new iPad, I like, for what? To do what? To watch YouTube?
Yeah.
Again? No. I don't know. Yeah. That and the Pixel 8a came out. The Pixel 8a, basically the Pixel 8 with a plastic back. I think $500 fit. Like, that is not a mid-range phone. Anytime I say $500 US, that ain't mid-range. That calling too much money. Mid-range is $300 US. But I guess people go buy it because Pixel.
I wish it had a $500 iPhone.
It have the iPhone SE.
They still make that?
Yeah. They make.
You see how small that is? That's not like the small.
Is the form factor of the iPhone 8, I think. Yeah.
Oh.
It's the same form factor as the 8.
Thinking about something else.
Yeah. But yeah, I think they have they had the mini and they stopped making the mini because the mini wasn't selling. Yeah, so I think they did a SE 2022 or I'll have to Google it to see, but I don't really have time to Google it right now because it's time to wrap up. But they did have a SE. Oh, you know why? Because I considered buying an iPhone SE to replace the one that I have here that given trouble because the SE was real cheap. But then I said it'd be better to buy like a 11 or a 12 that I use because I'll get the actual, when I'm testing apps and things, I'll get the actual experience that most people are going to get because on the SE, you ain't gonna get the experience with the dynamic island and them thing now.
I never had a phone with that. SE is 4.7 inches. That is small.
Oh yeah, that way.
They're like your 2011 phones.
Mm-hmm.
Like an iPhone 5, they're like you know.
Wow. Okay.
And me thinking my next iPhone will be like the max version. Cause my last two phones was just the regular ones, but maybe next year I'll buy a new phone.
You have a 11 and a 12, I think you say?
I have 11 and 12 Pro, yeah.
But you have zero problems with them.
Battery. The battery in one is like 79 or 78%. The other one I don't really use it, so that one is like 90 something.
When you go and upgrade your phone?
Maybe next year. Work's supposed to pay for it, so.
Oh, okay. All right, now I was going to tell you I will take it off your hands, but eBay for it. Yeah. All right, Ollie, that's it there for today. Thank you very much for your kind listenership. It has been a wonderful, what is called this word by? Thought-provoking and, what's the word you say when you say smart stuff? Eloquent. No, not eloquent. Eloquent is not the word. Anyhow, we said smart stuff, y'all.
Yeah,
we said smart stuff.
So the brain starting to.
Yeah, we said smart stuff. Definitely going to try and get them D Hub people. So just to recap what we spoke about, we went through the D Hub, doing big things, and I'm definitely going to try to get one of the D Hub developers, my past student, on next week to talk about the experience. Maybe I'll get it. Yeah, I should be able to get the two of them on. Then we spoke about the check clearing problem and the system between the central bank and the inland revenue. And if it was a technology issue or if it was a people issue, which we think is a people issue, but we're not 100% sure. And the Tesla robot and the dexterity that it has to be able to pick up some batteries. And I went on my little rant of the robots are coming.
Turn for a rant.
Yeah. But because of hackers, because of humans, not because the robots will become sentient. Yeah. So that's it there. All right, so my name is Andre Charles, Mr. Charles from makeITsimpleTT, and my co-host, his name is
Akeem from Redbit Tech, Redbit_Tech.
All right, and we are found all over the internet. And you do TikTok videos this week?
Nah.
There's always start off hot and sweat, you know. Always start off hot and sweat. Yeah, that's plain. I saw some podcast videos. They making some noise right now. A long time I didn't see a 10K hit on a podcast video. Normally podcast videos are max out at about 5K, but one of them hit 10. Hey, look at us. Must be nice. Yeah. All right, that's it, y'all. So message us on any socials if you want to find out about anything or if you want to give any comments. And we will see you all next week for another episode of the Trini Techcast. Later.